Vadh actually uh, gave me a lot of things. Vadh gave me a lot of respect from people, from audience, and the award was very unexpected. Suddenly, I got to know that Vadh has been nominated for 6 categories in Filmfare, and competing with the films and filmmakers whom I admire. Sanjay Sir, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, and a lot of people. Badhai Do, Bhul Bhulaiya,
Hmm.
because I watch all kind of films. So for me, all of them are like. So what actually the award was a surprise.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to this conversation. But once again, thank you so much for accepting the invitation, and we are looking forward to this chat. I'll start asking by asking you a question. How are you feeling today? How is your day going and everything?
Yug, thank you for having me on this wall thing. And uh, day is going great. Yeah, I mean, woke up in the morning and I was preparing for this interview because, uh, but feeling great. Uh, and mostly after getting the award, getting lots of good wishes and congratulations from all around, I mean, friends, people, family, colleagues, everybody. So yeah, feeling great and more enthusiastic, more energetic to do some more good work.
Yeah, I
So
can see the award back. And that was the first thing that I saw. Okay, that I even mentioned in my intro that you recently won an award for best tip that you went like in this. But I'll ask that question later. I want you to introduce yourself in brief, as in where do you come from, what you are up to right now, and everything.
okay, so my name you already know, Rajeev Barnwal.
Yeah.
Uh, my childhood and everything, I come from Jharkhand and was born in, I always say, the uh, politically undivided Bihar. So
Oh,
then in 2005, it got, bifurcated into Jharkhand and Bihar. So my parents now reside in a place called Dhanbad, which is very close to Kolkata and Ranchi.
yeah.
And I come from there. And I've been born and brought up in small places because my father was a mining engineer, and we used to live in places where coal mines were there. So, and then we used to live in officers colony. There is a festival puja which happens in our part of the world, which is Saraswati Puja,
Yes.
and we used to do play and everything. I mean, I used to write, I used to get hold of all the colony kids and direct them. And that point of time, at the age of 10, 12, I didn't know this is called direction. I was more like तुम इधर से आओगे, तुम इधर से जाओगे, तुम ऐसा बोलोगे, तुम वैसा बोलोगे, that kind of thing. So that's where it got seeded in my mind. And I was a big movie buff. Saturday, I still remember Saturdays we used to get those VCR. Most of the new generation might not be knowing the VCR, video cassette recorder.
Yes.
And we get all the VHSs, video home services.
Yes.
So I used to start playing it from Saturday, midday to till Sunday night, till the VCR used to get completely, heat up and everything.
Yes.
But we used to see a lot of, and there were very, being in a small places, a couple of my friends who used to have relatives back in US or Canada at that point of time, they used to get these English VHSs, as gifts.
Yes.
So you wouldn't. My first English films were more in the horror genre, Evil Dead, Omen, and all those kind of. And then because we used to get that only there,
Yeah.
copies of. And then later it moved on to, because then I started following some magazines and everything, and then I started demanding, get me Notting Hill, get me Shall We Dance, and all those kind of things. So it started from there. Then I did my schooling over there. After school I moved to Delhi University, and I wanted to take admission in Kerodimal College because Amitabh Bachchan sir has studied from
Oh,
there a lot
wow.
of. So I waited for, I waited till third cutoff list. So I got admission in first cut-off list in Venkateshwara College, which is a very good college in South Delhi University. But I wanted KMC, or otherwise I could have gone to any, ABC college. So, and finally I got in chemistry, and I studied from there. I did some theater also over there. And finally, after that, because coming from, background of engineers and everything, uh, you always find yourself in a confusion whether what that path of going to filmmaking is full of struggle, and it's a very unconventional kind of life. So are you still ready for it? And then there are kind of expectations from your parents and everything. So for 1 year I graduated in 2000, and after that, post 1 year, I did some coaching for this uh, masters of computer applications. So I used to go to Lajpat Nagar, but it was all very half hearted. I used to look for opportunities to become a part of something to do with media and everything.
Hmm.
So I still remember I got cleared in Bits Pilani, and there was a decision. And at that same point of time, I got a mail from someone who was making a documentary on for Sahitya Academy, Delhi, and who was making a film on Trilochan Shastri. And I used to
Mhm.
read a lot of Hindi writers and their literature. So, so the decision was for that night, because he asked me to travel to Banaras the next day morning, and next day morning I had a ticket for Jaipur also for that interview, counseling at Bits Pilani. So that was the night when I had to decide, and I decided, and I took the Banaras train, and that's why that train brought me here, and
Oh.
now I'm standing in front of you.
In my head,
So
I'm visualizing you as the MS Dhoni on the station, and that train being
yeah,
that
yeah.
thing.
In fact,
Yeah,
you wouldn't believe, my first experience on the set, I would say, in that documentary. I still remember because it's the first. We were shooting on a railway track, so we had to, stop the vehicle, and then we kind of walked with the railway track almost 3-4 kilometers. And I was a rookie, complete rookie. I had seen the camera for the first time. It used to have those beta tapes. So nobody told me. It was a small unit because documentary, Delhi people how they do it. Nobody
yeah.
told me to carry an extra battery or an extra tray for that. And I got really abused because the battery ended and the tape also got finished after shooting. And we were almost 4 kilometers away from the vehicle where everything was stored. And the director, I still remember, kind of abused me left, right, and center. That how can you forget that? And I was like, nobody told me that I have to carry the extra battery and tape. It was the first day.
Yeah.
So I really felt bad on that day. And because my dad also never kind of, abused me like that or scolded me like that. So I remember the cameraman was Khurshid Bhai, and I was kind of upset in the night at the hotel. And he came to me, and there was a clamshell, where you can see the footage, whatever you have
Yeah.
recorded. He showed it to me, and then he said, "See, now you have to decide whether you want to keep pursuing this. It's a hard line, it's a hard way. You'll get a lot of people like that and everything, but it's your perseverance, it's your persistence, which will take you to places, or you take this money, go back to Delhi, and never come back in this industry."
Oh,
So I still owe my thing to him. And when I saw the footage, whatever we shot for the day, I was really mesmerized, with the frames and how you can put visuals inside a frame. So
yes.
filmmaking, you know, watching film is something else, and making films is totally a different world altogether.
I would agree. I would agree. When you said someone like scolded you, I haven't been on a film set like I attempted to be on, but I started theater after my college. And in the college, I was kind of a very smooth ride. And suddenly, after completing my theater for 6 months, I started working for the lights department in terms of the backstage and everything. And for the first 6 months, you're working with the familiar people, you start to know them. But suddenly there's a guest director comes in, or a big theater actor, or someone who is going to produce comes in. And that day I goofed up something in the light part, in the rehearsal itself, not in the main show. But it was the first part that I felt, okay, मेरे पापा ने भी इतना नहीं डांटा जितना मैंने एक छोटी सी गलती बस येलो की जगह ऑरेंज लाइट हो गई थी जस्ट इन द मूड सेंसिंग और ये हो गया था But yeah, I don't want to
And later
sound
I
like
realized, because later I realized that it is because of the stress you have to cover so much in a day, and a lot of people react to stress in all very different ways. So now,
yeah,
because now it's been 20 years, and from that incident, I made sure, I promised myself, whenever I'll get a chance to, captain the ship, or when I'll become a director, or I'll become a person who is managing the entire set, I would try to keep my set, the environment like you have come to a picnic. And that's why I can, that is something which I always try to do, forget the stress, forget everything. You have to take all the people in confidence, and you have to, keep them intact, bonded. You have to care for them, love them. And then you see the product, it will be, a different thing altogether. So I
exactly.
try to do that always,
That's a
with my students, with my team and everything.
that's a great thing. That's a great thing, even like because I have seen many friends in Mumbai, like who attempt to be an AD and ad film and everything, and some certain times it becomes a discussion that it's a competition that तेरे को इतना डाटा तेरे को पता नहीं मेरे साथ तो ये हो गया था मेरे को ये सर ने ये कर दिया था like it becomes a competition kind of thing.
I-
मतलब it's
right,
like इतना ही था तेरे को मेरे तो इतना ज्यादा था kind of a thing. Yeah, I don't want to make you sound
right,
old, but yeah, when you said VCR, I don't have memory of getting it, but I do have memory of my father getting it, and him enjoying the films, and he was a big Bond fan and English movies follow. My first English movies was because I came from a kind of a similar background of yours. It became a Spider-Man, which my father took, and it was the first time
right.
we saw a movie in English. Before that,
Okay.
there was always a movie in Hindi that hey, तेरे को पता नहीं है क्या हो रहा है, kind of a vibe that the certain dubbing artist stereotype was there. So we used to have that, but it was
No,
the
no, there is
first.
a first time to everything. I mean,
Yeah,
when I moved to Delhi, so my English film thing, I used to go to Kolkata. सो हर साल में क्या करता था ना, वो आईटी वाईटी के पेपर भर देता था, और सेंटर डाल देते थे हम कलकत्ता में. सो ऑल ऑफ अस फ्रेंड्स यूज टू गो देयर. जो स्टूडियस फ्रेंड्स होते, दे यूज टू सिट फॉर द एग्जाम्स, एंड आई यूज टू गो टू मेट्रो और लाइट हाउस, जहाँ पे इंग्लिश फिल्में लगी होती थी, और मैं
हाँ.
वो देख रहा होता था. और वापस आके पापा पूछते थे कैसा गया पेपर. मैंने कहा कि हाँ अच्छा हुआ है, बट देखते हैं क्या होता है. यू नो
My
दैट
it
वाज आल्सो.
started. Yeah, but it started with Spider-Man, the first part, I guess. And after that, because the locality and the normal day-to-day society was not accept, not using English much and everything, so it
आई
didn't
नो.
grew. But until unless I joined my college, that's the time when it came out. Okay, bro, did you see Game of Thrones and everything? That's the time the hard disk era and torrent era came into my existence, and then the OTTs came into existence. So to relate to that, I'll I've read your interviews. I've read your heard you talking to journalists as well in terms of Jehanabad, and you have mentioned that the story started with you, like much many years back. But I still have one thing. When I saw it, there's a localization aspect that you have, you know, pioneered in terms that each cast. I don't want to differentiate on cast, but still you will understand that each cast to each storylines that are working on, one on the police side, one on the Harshita side, have a different dialect in every conversation that they are having, who their subordinates in different way. So, and I've seen many such things on the similar arc in past, and never saw that because we see that actors kind of train or practice that okay आपको ऐसे बात करना है. But one thing that caught my attention for Jainabad was that आपने वो जो localization का जो expect है in terms of when we say it becomes an outsider's perspective. उस फॉर एन आउटसाइडर इट बिकम्स अ थिंग ओके यहाँ पे ऐसे बात करते होंगे और अचानक यहाँ पे ऐसे बात करते होंगे वैसा तो हाउ वाज द एंटायर सेटअप बिल्डिंग इट लाइक इन एंटायर वर्ल्ड ऑफ जैनाबाद.
Actually, Jehanabad, like you said, it started very early, in 2005 itself, when that jailbreak happened. So I happened to be a part of some incident while shooting for Crime Patrol. And I got a story from there about a girl, Naxal. And at the same point of time, close to that point of time, the Jehanabad jailbreak also happened. And I married these two stories into what Jehanabad is currently right now in its shape. And we actually we actually went to a length to cast Kasturi. That was very important for this script. So Kasturi is a very author-backed role. I mean, I wrote it from my heart, all the characters, but Kasturi especially because she kinds of holds the entire, that universe. So we actually went. I mean, we auditioned a lot of girls and everything, and finally, we kind of every one of us liked Harshita, and she's a very hardworking girl. Most of them, Abhimanyu, like I was feeling amazing. Param coming from Bengal, Abhimanyu is also from Bangalore, brought up in different places. Then you have Rajat Kapoor, Shivanand Singh. Nobody could think of him as a
Yeah,
Bihari politician,
I'm
and I
coming to
always
that.
change. I've always wanted to change the perception or the image of Bihari politician because whenever you talk about Bihar politician, it is always based on some caricaturist form of popular Bihari leaders. So I wanted to change that they also can be suave, they also can talk royally, regally, and everything. And you have people like that back there who are educated, who changes themselves, when they go to. So like that's how I kept it also. When he goes to uh, the village part to meet the villagers, he wears a dhoti and kurta.
Yeah,
But when in town, city, he wears completely, trousers,
yeah.
shirts, and Upasek bandi and everything.
Mm.
So, and we had a good part was that me and my co-director Satyanshu, both of us are from Bihar, from that reason.
Yeah,
So the actors went through uh, some dialogue coaching also, dialect coaching also, and they learned it, they practiced it, and we read dialogues and scenes like I used to read with Param. So we used to do online things regularly, twice in a week, and I used to read the dialogues. He used to kind of take those nuances. But best part, I think the actors also kind of mentioned that we were from Bihar and we were directing it, so we knew. And good part is that we started talking to them like in the localized version, how we talk to
yeah.
our. So that also become because I was talking to Harshita, and she said that she forgot how to speak English, properly with, and she started speaking English like how a Bihari or a person from that north side speaks.
Yeah,
But it's all because of the hard work of all these fine actors who actually brought all these characters which I thought to life. And I know, I mean, some people ask me why didn't you keep the language to Mathili, Maghi, or the
yeah,
localized dialect and everything. So I always tell that see, I come from I haven't been to any film school or anything like you said that you started watching Spider-Man. I started watching Manmohan Desai films and everything. So those films, the popular films are my school. That is how I learned filmmaking and everything. And then obviously while working on Mangal Pandey, Bishar and everything, I tried to grasp the craft, how it is made and everything. So what I always felt that I always want to tell the story for masses. I really feel happy. It happened with me. My watchman recently, a month back, I was just going out of the society and he was watching in the night. I just heard the dialogue from the mouth of Shivanand Singh, which I had written. And I just asked him, what are you watching? And he said, Arey, sir, bada badhiya Bihar ka series hai, Jehanabad, dekhiyega.
mm,
He doesn't know. He's a new watchman, doesn't know that I
yeah,
know. And I felt happy, and then I went away. So I really would like to entertain the entire, right from the front benches to the,
yeah.
stall and balcony and everybody.
I'll tell
So
you one
that's,
more. I'll tell you
yeah.
one more reference that should make you happy. So here, when like the not the Amul vendors, but the Desi milk vendors, they had a poster. So basically, his son is digitizing it and everything in my city, and they had a poster घर की गाय की दूध से बनाया हुआ है ऐसा with Rajat Kapoor's
Oh,
photo on it because in
oh, oh, oh.
I remember it that in every episode or I guess every alternate episode he makes sure that it becomes his kind of a takya kalam or something like that. But I saw
Ah.
this here that घर की गाय के दूध से
Because
बना हुआ है.
while writing, I wanted to give him some kind of quirk and everything. And
Yeah,
I always wondered, seeing the politicians who have been portrayed before in
yeah,
this kind of from Bihari politicians, there were always a scene where they used to pat their cows and buffaloes and everything.
Yeah.
एक गौशाला का scene होता ही था.
Huh,
So I always
the
wondered कि गाय तक तो ठीक है, उसके बाद दूध का क्या करते हैं ये लोग. So
huh,
मैंने वो डाल दिया इस पे, because that also comes. Somebody wrote, somebody from Jamia, he kind of analyzed it and he wrote that this is also authority, owning cattle and everything in a
yes.
rural kind of system. It shows authority. So
Societal, it matters a lot.
that's
Yeah.
why, that is why also back of the mind I meant, when he says, and in every mode, खा के
Yeah.
जाना मतलब खा के, you have to eat it
Huh.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah. In that
So
context, I got it that when he he goes to the village and whenever someone arrives at his home, he says that I got it.
uh,
And in terms of Bihari and village, in my head, I still see Ravi Kishan's entry scene half of the times that he is patting the cow, and just if he's the antagonist in a bigger role, then he'll be patting a cow and he'll be asking कहाँ गए थे, काम हुआ कि नहीं.
uh,
The other end,
uh,
बाबूजी आ रहा है दूध लेके. Either of it, antagonist or protagonist.
I- and
Yeah,
he's very good. He's very good.
yeah, he's
Ravi
very good
Kishan
at it. He's very good
is
at it.
really good.
Yeah. So yeah, one more thing that I realized, I'll come back to the create. Like I still have one question that it happened in 2005, but when did you actually build it in the paper, like from start to end? That is story hai, conflict hai, and वगैरह. When did that process happen, or did you start it from 2005 and pitched it in 2020?
No, actually, what happened that I the lockdown happened, and before just the first lockdown was announced, I happened to meet Shogato Mukherjee, who is the content head of Sony Live, and I went there with my business partner Simrat Kaur. So we own a small company, Loadport Films. It's a very, it comes from that Loadport we used to read, during our childhood.
Yeah,
So we went there and we narrated some stories. I never used to narrate this story because I always felt that I'll make this into a film after I make some two, three popular films.
yeah,
But I was kind of, you know, pursuing those films which now I want to make, the popular cinema, the scripts which I had. So I went with some different kind of story, and he said that okay, this is something which already we are making. This is something, and then my partner Sindhu, she just kind of popped in and she said, he has a story he never tells anyone. It's a very good story. I have a hunch that it's a good story. So he said, okay, सुनाओ. तो मैंने सुनाया उनको, बोले कि this is what we are looking for. Just write a pilot on this. And then what happened that we came out and I was like, अरे यार ऐसे ही बोला होगा ना, सबको बोलते होंगे. उसका लॉकडाउन हो गया because I had gone for a recce of my film which was supposed to happen, but because of lockdown then everything fell apart. So I came back and my partner, she is from Punjab. She went back to her hometown. She got stuck there. I was stuck here. और मैं भूल गया. Then she kind of pestering me कि यार बोला है लिख तो ले पायलट कभी. फिर एक दिन खूब झगड़ा हो गया and गुस्से में मैंने एक रात में पायलट लिख दिया. तो और उसको भेज दिया रात को
Hmm.
ऑलमोस्ट 3 सुबह. सुबह 11-12 बजे उसका फोन आया कि इफ दिस इज द पायलट, अगर ये वो लोग नहीं लिए तो फिर मतलब उनका लॉस है.
Hmm.
आई वाज लाइक क्या बात कर रहे हो, बोले एज इट इज भेज दो. मैंने कहा यार रात में मैंने तो दोबारा पढ़ा भी नहीं है. देन आई वेंट थ्रू इट अगेन एंड मेड सम करेक्शंस एंड आई सेंट इट टू emailed it to Shogato and his team, and I requested that I would love to narrate also. फिर तुरंत ना एक हफ्ते के बाद उनकी मीटिंग मिल गई, सब ऑनलाइन ही हो रहा था उसमें. His team liked it, he liked the narration, then everything fell in place and this started happening. उसके बाद I started writing the developing it, but the story was with me for long. But to be very honest, and I'll be very honest here, I had never written a long format show. Film, within 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you have to, it's easy. Uh, but long format, how would I sustain a characters and all those characters and the story till 10th episode or 8th episode? It was a challenge for me, and I honestly didn't know how would I go about it. So I started writing it. I kept writing. Things came, things went, and there was a creative team from Sony Live also. So we used to discuss and everything. So finally it happened, and finally when the final entire script went to everyone and back in Sony, or the technicians which we chose, everybody was like, Sudhir sir also read it. He also, commented and suggested some changes, with the characters and everything. So
Hmm.
finally, we had a good script at our hand. And then I realized, okay, I mean, this was the journey. I mean, finally, I could write all these 10 episodes. I
Yeah.
have it in me. I can write long format, but it's still a very evolving process, because
Yeah.
now, very honest, after getting people liked it a lot. Some people didn't. I mean, they liked it, but certain parts they didn't like it. So now that I realized, I mean, that I also have to, this was first for me. I also learned from it. And so now, from now onwards, if I'm going to write a long format, I also have certain things which I'll keep in mind while writing it and everything.
Yeah.
It's evolving. Script writing is always
Yeah.
evolving. I'm necessarily like Sudhir sir always tell you that right now the OTTs and everything and long format is a very new thing for us.
Yeah.
Either we knew or either we knew, 1,000 episodes of a Sasbahu kind of, serial, which
Yes.
is a Delhi kind of feed to a lot of people.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, for entertainment.
Hmm.
But this center thing, this middle thing, this middle thing is a new thing and it's continuously evolving. And it will evolve, obviously, with the set of kind of writers we are kind of
Hmm.
now getting to. So it will evolve eventually.
This question came in my mind because you said there was a jailbreak and then there was a Naxal story and then you mixed it both. So I was even in the middle, like as I was in this episode 4 or 5, it came in that because I have a brain that thinks कि सोचा कैसे होगा, and if they do something astounding, so I seek answers aggressively. they कैसे सोच लेते हैं ये लोग ऐसा, like in terms
मेरी
of that.
माँ कहती, मेरी माँ ने देखा, शी वाज हियर व्हेन द
Hmm.
पोस्ट वाज हैपनिंग, सो आई काइंड ऑफ showed her 2 3 episodes, and then finally she was back home with all the people and society people. उन्होंने फोन करके ये नहीं बोला कि अच्छा लगा, तुम सोच कैसे लेते हो ऐसा। मैंने कहा यही काम है हमारा। So
हाँ.
I don't know, but basically I always wanted. I'm a very firm believer in empathy, love. I always feel that dialogue is the answer for any kind of problem.
Hmm.
So, and that's a very hardcore belief, which is very set inside me. And I always feel that with good behavior, with care and love, you can always win hearts, even of a devil.
Hmm.
But you have to keep trying. You have to keep trying. You have to keep trying.
Yeah.
And in those trying things, you have to go through a lot of struggle. You have to go through a lot of things which are thrown upon you. But I feel end of the day you will win. वो कहते हैं ना हमेशा, और मैं बहुत बिलीव करता हूँ कि अंत में good always wins, and it
Yeah.
happens. It happens.
Yeah.
So while writing this also, ना, I always wanted to tell कि इतना बड़ा कुछ हुआ, सब कुछ हुआ, बट क्या लव में इतना पावर है कि भले फॉर अ मोमेंट वो सारी नफरत को रोक सके। एंड a lot of people acknowledge that, a lot of people miss that also, I think, which I wanted to tell through your platform, that end में जब कस्तूरी को गोली लगती है, the entire firing and everything stops for a moment.
Yeah.
So that's what I
Beautiful.
wanted to,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
Love has that power where Abhimanyu shouts, he runs towards her. It's a very, because of my, training on those Manmohan Desai and those kind of films. It's filmy. It's filmy. It's not very real, but it works. That kind of drama
Yeah,
worked for me.
if
I
if you
really
take it, if you took a top angle of it, that scene, the left side will be feeling grief that okay, it got shot. Right side will be feeling sympathy either for the his subordinate who was saving her,
yeah,
like Ritwik's character.
yeah,
And there are certain other sides to it that, okay, apart from grief and sympathy, there are also sadness that will just evolve slowly. That might stop that might at least make them aware. I'm saying in a very imaginative sense that if it happens,
yeah.
something like this happens again, these two, three emotions like grief, sadness, sympathy,
Yes, 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 yes. Completely agree.
empathy, as you said, is all
Yeah,
antonyms synonyms of similar emotions, might make people aware that okay, that's how love ends. And when you say dialogues matter and like dialogue matters and everything, there's a real influence of literature into it because I feel starting of it till the middle or till the end of it in a one way, there's a layer of literature everywhere. In starting of
right.
scene, I guess I
Madhuba,
might be wrong. Yeah, Ritvik. narrates, as a professor narrates Pablo, I guess I wrote Pablo Neruda's poem, and then there's
Yeah. Then
in the
Dushan
gym
Kumar
break,
also. Dushan Kumar also. Yeah.
Dushan Kumar also, and in the left, and the other story that goes simultaneously, they narrate Socrates and everything in terms of the angst that they have against the system. So was it because of your reading, or you thought about it in terms of because of the Naxalite and the entire political?
So literature, something, because while creating the character, I always wanted to know that I always wanted to create characters who are very well educated and who kind of, uh, draw parallels from the literature they have read. So it's not only Pablo Neruda or Socrates I have used or Plato. I
Yes.
used, I used, a verse from Gita also.
Yes.
There is attack happening and intercutting with Param saying that कि मनुष्य को मति मारी जाती है क्रोध में
हाँ.
और ये होता है वो होता है मतलब he is basically telling you guessed it wrong,
Yeah.
uh, you are wrong, you guessed it
Yeah.
wrong, it is already happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it is just to give, I mean, uh, yeah, it comes from the reading also because when you have studied from Delhi University, you actually pass through a lot of layers, the reading habits, the film clubs, then the theater, then everything. So it has come, it is always inside me. Just I really like Dushan Kumar, the kind of poetry he writes. I really like Ramdhari Singh Dinkar, everything. And I try to, quote them whenever I get a chance.
Hmm.
Because sometimes, एक आप डायलॉग्स तो लिखते हो बट कई बार उन लोगों की दो लाइनों में ना इतना सारा कुछ होता है जो पूरा सीन नहीं कह पाते, एक एक दो लाइनों में आप वो मर्म दे देते हो और वो इतनी इफेक्टिव हो जाती है ना.
Yeah.
And another thing, like when I was writing the scene for Pablo Neruda, and Neruda I had never read, so it was a suggestion from Sunil Mishra sir. So then I read and I became a fan of him. मतलब शूटिंग चल रही थी और रात रात भर मैं नेरूदा पढ़ रहा था. मैंने कहा
हाँ.
यार ये कैसे मिस कर दिया. सो बट मैं ये भी चाहता था ना कि जैसे जो दुष्यंत कुमार है हमारे इंडियन पोइट्स हैं, तो आज की जनरेशन को ना पता ही नहीं है क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है. सो दिस इज समथिंग, बिकॉज वी आर वेरी फॉर्चुनेट. हमारी जो जनरेशन है वो फॉर्चुनेट है जो वीसीआर भी जिसने देखा है, जिसने सीडी भी देखा है, जिसने डीवीडी भी देखा है. एंड नाउ वी आर सीइंग ऑल दिस क्लाउड एंड दिस आल्सो.
Yeah.
सो वी हैव गॉन थ्रू एवरीथिंग बट टुडेस
I,
जो
I mapped all the literature references each and while they came, but I remembered these two that because it came in the start, and in my head it came that okay political drama होने वाला है आगे जाके. He might be on one ideology, the other might be another ideology, but then it became a different thing altogether in terms of the stories
आई नो,
because
हाँ,
I didn't start watching like after the trailer. I just went in because I saw Sudhir Mishra's tweet saying that he helmed this project and this is it. So on one fine Saturday evening, I started and I binge watched it completely, like start to end. But I came into the meta because of like I got attracted to it because of Sudhir Mishra's name on it, and it was quite a while that something from him came into picture, like on the big
right.
screen. So I was quite
Then you must watch Afwa also. He has made a
yeah,
very
yeah,
good
yeah.
film.
I'm aware about that. I'm already and planning into it. So that's about. So yeah, I and that's how I wanted to know that okay, आप क्या कहते हैं इसको अब एक तरीके से कंपल्सिव जा रहे थे लिटरेचर में कि आप में से ही आया बट आपने बता दिया आप में से ही आया एंड देन इट वाज
नहीं,
आल्सो
ये बहुत ऑर्गेनिक भी था, ये बहुत ऑर्गेनिक
हाँ.
भी था. व्हाइल राइटिंग ना, आई नेवर काइंड ऑफ कंस्ट्रेन माई सेल्फ. मैं जब पहली बार लिखता हूँ ना, व्हेन आई राइट द फर्स्ट ड्राफ्ट, I always go with the flow, organically
ओके.
how the story is moving and everything. So I always do that. When I'm doing the next draft, then I get then I give this to read to my close ones, the bouncing boards. Like सबसे पहले मेरी bouncing board मेरी partner होती है जो business partner है.
हम्म.
तो वही देख कर पढ़ के उसने मुंह बना दिया तो मुझे लगता है कि भाई अभी और मेहनत चाहिए.
हम्म.
Because I know she is also very creatively inclined and everything. And she reads it like an audience. फिर सेकंड ड्राफ्ट करता हूँ, फिर और लोगों को पढ़ाता हूँ. सो आई ऑलवेज टेक अ फीडबैक, फ्रॉम पीपल. एंड आई ऑलवेज बिलीव दैट फिल्म मेकिंग का इंटायर प्रोसेस इज अ टीम एफर्ट,
Yeah.
बिकॉज मैं बिलीव करता हूँ, दिस आई हैव लर्न फ्रॉम माय गुरु फ्रॉम होम आई लर्न स्क्रीन राइटिंग, अभिनव कश्यप, जो बेशरम के मेरे डायरेक्टर भी थे, दबंग के भी. तो उनसे मैंने सीखा कि देख 5 लोग में अगर 4 लोग किसी एक सीन पे ऑब्जेक्शन कर रहे हैं या उनको पसंद नहीं आ रहा है, इसका मतलब यू नीड टू वर्क ऑन दैट.
हम्म.
बट 5 लोग का 5 व्यू है, देन यू गो विथ योर, यू नो
Yeah.
तो I always take it up as a challenge, you know. If somebody rejects my scene ना, मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. मैं कहता चलो अभी और 4 तरीके से और बताता हूँ तुम्हें.
Yeah.
ऐसे हो सकता है. And then you find a novel way to say something which has already might be, you know, told
Yeah.
n number of.
At
So
the end
that
of
is
the day,
how.
yeah, at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you also, if there are different views, you support your own voice. Then, yeah, I'm a storyteller. I have to put my vision into it.
हाँ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My last
बट
question
मुझे
on
अच्छा
Jana.
लगता है चैलेंज. चैलेंज अच्छा लगता है मुझे, यू नो. और मुझे लगता है मैं जितने भी राइटर्स मिलते हैं तुम लोगों को चैलेंज अच्छा लगना चाहिए.
Huh.
मतलब कई राइटर्स मुझे मिलते हैं, वो कहते हैं कि सर ये ना उस तरह की फिल्म में ऐसा हुआ था, टैरेंटिनो की फिल्म में ऐसा हुआ था. मैं कहता हूँ कि ना कुछ ऐसा करो कि तुम्हारी फिल्म के बारे में ऐसा कहा जाए, तभी तो वो टैरेंटिनो है, तभी तो वो, यू नो.
In
सो
this in this era, I want to see feel old or make you feel old. But in this right now, in last decade at least, the referencing game has topped everything. Even if they say 5% similarity, 95% uniqueness, the focus stays that okay. हाँ हाँ ये तो क्या कहते हैं कर चुका है टॉम हैंक्स ये कर चुका है ऐसे किया था वैसे किया था तो
आई नो.
that
आई
becomes
नो.
a originality becomes a question. My last part on Jehanabad is that is there more to it? Is there a future to it? Because as a viewer, I don't know what the angst was for these two people against the system and everything. Even you as a writer would know that there are question marks that you have
There
even.
is more to. There is more to it, and I'm writing right now. I'm developing the next season. So the first was received well, decently, and people liked it. And obviously, they want to see more. So now we are working on that, but it's still a very nascent stage because I'm working on the story and everything. And a lot of people messaged me also, you know. They got like one of my friend's sister, she messaged me late in the night and she was like, I'm very disappointed, why a girl like Kasturi, you know, became a
Uh,
Naxal and everything. Then I just asked her, I mean, did you get attached to Kasturi? She said yes, because they all live in Bihar and they all were Kasturi at some point of time, kind of, or they wanted to live like Kasturi at some point of time. And she was like, I got so attached to her. I was feeling kind of, you know, why did she do it? I wouldn't have done it. So I just asked her, what would happen if I would have just killed her? No, that wouldn't be fair. I mean, then there is more to it, you know.
yeah.
Sometimes it's not what you see, you know. Sometimes it you have to wait for that. But yeah, there is more to it, and that will happen in season 2.
Eh,
And obviously,
My my
yeah,
personal opinion or my personal thing on attachment to Kasturi's character is because she is not like other characters of similar graph or similar movie roles or series roles that they are chasing people's opinion or chasing people's permissions that okay ये करना है हमें ये करना है she has been a go-getter entire season at least in fact in the start only there's a scene where the entry scene where she runs like
yeah,
the kidnapping happens and she runs away. That's the start to it, but later on also the way she chases the professor, the entire thing. So I feel that was a new part to it for anyone. I might not understand from the Bihar perspective that you said. I would respect that. But from my perspective, I felt that that character had different arcs than similar roles in past have always stereotyped the part. That at the end, in my head, it was like once Rajat Kapoor has ended this character, she would surrender that नहीं इन्होंने बोला तो यही करना है in my
yeah.
stereotypical mind. Yes, exactly. That's what my point is. When you
Yeah.
because as a viewer you start assuming कि अब तो यही होने वाला है.
I
In
know,
eight
I
part
know,
series,
I know.
in eight part in movie you might not, but in part 8 part episode you see the
Yes,
what
yes, yes.
the
Right.
anecdote works like तुम एपिसोड का नाम देखोगे उसका सिनॉप्सिस देखोगे and then when the intro is going on of the song you will feel इसमें ना ये हो जाने वाला है इसमें ये हो जाने वाला है. So in my head the
Yeah,
entire point was that because he's too supportive of her that karne
I
do
know, I
at
know, I
that
know.
he might just raise the flag that was enough is enough but that not being happening connects more people that okay she's a go-getter because at the end of the day everyone loves freedom.
Actually, you know, when we were discussing, you know, me, my co-director, and the team and everything, and it came from my co-director Satyanshu only, that when we're discussing about the characters, now character traits and everything, so we felt that everyone is caged or trapped into something.
Yeah.
Kasturi is the only free spirit who gets caged at the end, you know,
Yeah.
who kinds of gets that shock. Till then, she is a very free bird, free spirited girl, and she does what she wants to do and everything. But apart from that, Abhimanyu is trapped in his own world,
Yes.
in whose Mamaji is trapped. That Param's character, Deepak Kumar, he's trapped. Shivanand is trapped in his politics. The parents are trapped. Father is trapped in between this household thing, between
Yeah.
mother and daughter, and
Yeah.
mother is trapped in all those kind of old rituals. So
Yeah.
everybody, Satyadeep is trapped in between going by the book or by Shivanand.
Yeah.
So everybody is caged in their action and thought. Only Kasturi is someone who is free spirited, and that's how
Yeah.
it turned out, and that's how it came out in the series also. you
Yeah.
know
You explained my point much better than me, clearly stating you
yes.
are a good director, good storyteller. I fumbled in
No,
my
that
own
is
thought.
something which we discussed back in our pre-production days, and it suddenly popped up in my mind
Yeah.
because of the lockdown, we got a lot of time to go over the scripts and everything. We used to do reading with our entire AD team and everything, me and my co-director, and we used to take everybody opinion. And those discussions actually, brought a lot of things about the characters from different members of the team, which I also never kind of, it might have been in the back of my mind, but it never came apparent. It came when somebody gave word to it. Okay, yeah, that is something what
Uh,
I also, was kind of unconsciously or consciously trying to write.
yeah.
So that exercise also always help, to filmmakers. It's
Yeah.
a team effort. I mean, today, whatever Jahanabad you're seeing and everything, each and every one, it's not my achievement. It each and everyone who worked, right, from the cast, crew, producers, everyone. It's everybody's bits and bytes to this, and that's how Jahanabad is there.
Yeah.
So it's not one man's achievement or whatever.
I'm happy with my observation that I was partly right in terms of that taste and freedom part. Because I thought about it and thought I was thinking of writing this in terms of a tweet or a blog that okay, because
Right.
like the entire graph goes of different people in different way. Yeah. Moving on to work, first of all, how does it feel to win an award? How is that feeling at the moment? That
Yeah, Vadh actually uh, gave me a lot of things. What gave me a lot of respect from people, from audience, and the award was very unexpected. Suddenly, I got to know that Vad has been nominated for 6 categories in Filmfare, and competing with the films and filmmakers whom I admire. Sanjay Sir, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, and a lot of people, Badhai To, Bhul Bhulaiya,
Hmm.
because I watch all kind of films. So for me, all of them are like so what actually the award was a surprise, and I tell you, I got it from Ravina Tandon. She kind of gave me the award, and she's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
And Salman Khan sir was there. He was hosting the show with Manish and Ayushman. So the entire night I held to the award, but I couldn't believe that I have won the award. So I was traveling with the award. 3 o'clock, I went with my partner to have a buffet dinner and everything. And then I came back home and I just kept it in my bedroom, in a front table. The morning when light, kind of fall on the
Sh-
award and it
Shine on
shone,
it. Yeah.
then I realized, oh, fuck, I mean, I actually won this. And then I felt very happy, excited, elated. And then I started, I mean, night say I had started getting a lot of calls, messages, and everything. And it has not stopped till yet. So I'm feeling top of the world, getting this award, getting this recognition, that my hard work of last 20 years finally have been
Mm.
recognized, and feeling great. And it gives you more energy to, do more good work, make good films, make different films, make popular films, I would also say. And we all strive for theater nowadays, OTT theater, everything. Film goes anywhere. I mean, audience is there, but any filmmaker would want, you ask anyone, they would want that people go and watch it in the big screen with big
Yeah.
sound, big everything, and you get into that kind of immersive world.
Yeah.
So even I have those desire, And I'm working on I'm writing Jahanabad season 2 currently, and kind of meeting a lot of people to make films. There are some talks, there are some, uh, there was a lot of offers which I kind of, but I'm kind of, taking time to choose my next film. But there will be one couple of scripts I have which are very good, and I'm trying to pitch them, make them into a movie. Let's see how it unfolds the year.
Just in brief, I want to know how did the Vad happened working with Sanjay Mishra, sir, Neha Gupta ma'am, and everything, because visibly it looks like a low budget or a conservative
Yeah.
budget film with a very red theme to it in terms of because the name as suggests and everything that goes with the, what do we say, layer of the film in terms of the meaning of Vad. So how
Yeah.
did the entire story in the movie came up?
So before Vadh, me and there my co-director Jaspal, I mean, we were working on some other script which was a big budget, more like Ab Tak Chappan kind of thing on a real person base, and we had narrated it to Nana Patekar sir, and he agreed to do it. But then things, uh, you know, finances backed off, and there were some unfortunate things that happened at that point of time, and it couldn't be done. So then we just thought that why not make a small film which don't eat up a lot of money. And I had relations with Sanjay Bhaiya, Sanjay Mishra Bhaiya, because my first film Satrangi Parachute, he was there, and I always stayed in touch with him. We shared a good relationship. I mean, with him, with his family, and everything. So we got this. I mean, I got this an idea. Then I thought about a story of Vad about this elderly couple, and then we developed it into. And then we really liked that the way script shaped up. And then we thought who would be best to play, and then I felt that we felt that Sanjay Mishra would be good because nobody has seen Sanjay Mishra in such kind of avatar, and he was also accessible to me. That's something which I kind of,
Help.
yeah, that helped. And he heard the story, and he was in at the very moment. Then we went to Nina Gupta, and she also kind of liked the script a lot. She said, I still remember that ये तो संजय की फिल्म है, but मैं करूंगी, मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है. So because they both are from NSD, Nina ma'am is a senior to Sanjay Mishra from NSD, तो वो भी connection था थोड़ा. So सब
Uh,
करते करते then we got Saurabh Sachdeva, Manav Vij to play all those characters. And then we shot it over a period of 24 days in Gwalior. उस समय इसका working title हमने ग्वालियर रखा हुआ था. एंड देन फिल्म उसके बाद हो गई, फिर लॉकडाउन हो गया, बहुत स्ट्रगल हुआ उस फिल्म को भी रिलीज होने में. काफी मतलब पोस्ट हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, इधर जा रहा है, उधर जा रहा है, लाइक हाउ स्मॉलर फिल्म्स फेसेस द प्रॉब्लम. तो फाइनली लव रंजन अंकुगा केम ऑन बोर्ड, एंड देन द फाइनली फिल्म रिलीज हुई, नेटफ्लिक्स पे गई, बहुत अप्रिशिएट हुई. बट ये भी अपने आप में एक लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस था, शूटिंग दैट फिल्म. और बहुत सारे कंस्टेंट के साथ, बहुत गर्मी में हमने शूट की थी, अप्रैल में, द टेम्परेचर्स वर 46-48 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड इन ग्वालियर. सो बहुत हार्डशिप से वो फिल्म बनी. बट थैंक्स टू संजय मिश्रा, नीना गुप्ता एंड ऑल द अदर एक्टर्स, आई मीन दे काइंड ऑफ मेड अस
yeah,
कंफर्टेबल एज फिल्म मेकर्स की, नहीं करो अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छी कहानी, करो करो, ये जरूर कुछ करेगा.
yeah.
तो ये तो पता था कि फिल्म पसंद आएगी लोगों को, बट ये नहीं पता था कि इतनी पसंद आएगी कि अवार्ड अवार्ड भी दिला जाए. सो ये ऊपर वाले का दिया हुआ है. दिस इज समथिंग विच यूनिवर्स
Yeah.
has paid us, that's something.
And I guess both your work released on same day on different OTTs, and that is
Yeah, that is something was a surprise for me, like the award. We
yeah,
knew that Netflix पे ये Feb में आ जाएगी, but I had an idea कि mid Feb तक आएगी. So second night में somebody sent me a link that your film is also on Netflix. And मैं मजाक में सबको कहता हूँ that was the 13th November for me, because 13 नवंबर को जेल ब्रेक हुआ था जहानाबाद पे. It's a big day.
yeah,
So I always tell it that was the 13th November for me, both of the films, and that's only by the God's grace, कि ऊपर वाले की मर्जी से ना दोनों एक ही दिन आ गए. So somebody who was watching Jahanabad, they were kind of searching me and then watching Vadh. जो वध देख रहे थे, I got call from Pakistan also. They watched Vadh, and after that they watched Jahanabad also, pirated version, और जो भी downloaded version वहाँ सोने
uh,
जगह आता नहीं है. And they again messaged me कि भाईजान ये भी बड़ी अच्छी बनाई है और ये. So getting love from all over the world, people are watching and they're appreciating it. वह तो काफी दिन Netflix में बहुत top पे भी रही, so I was very happy.
My father watched it because it was on top 10 and he liked it. He
हाँ.
recommended it to my family people. Because he's a avid Sanjay Mishra fan since long,
ओहो, हाँ,
many
कई लोगों ने
years.
संजय मिश्रा की देखी है, दे रियलाइज्ड कि कल मेरी बात हो रही थी, भाभी जी घर पे हैं जो रोहितांश गौड़ है, तो वी संजय मिश्रा बैच में, so we got on a call and he said कि यार संजय तो ना हमने कभी इस तरह से नहीं देखा था कि ये भी उसका एक साइड हो सकता है परफॉर्मेंस में, हमेशा हमने कामयाब ये वो सब देखा था, बट हैट्स ऑफ टू यू गाइस, द काइंड ऑफ कैरेक्टर यू गाइस wrote and the conviction you had on Sanjay Bhaiya. So thanks to Sanjay Bhaiya, Nina Gupta, that I am having this award right now, at my place.
Great.
So yeah.
Great. I'll just move on to the last two segments. I want to know because you have an unconventional film journey. That is, you don't have you didn't go through a film school, but you have from a theater plus practice plus short films plus
Yeah.
etc. etc. I want to know how do you now in your life, how do you invest your time in कि मुझे ये देखना है, ये movie देखनी है? How do you search a film? What makes you invest your time in certain movies, certain series?
So obviously, एक तो मैं हॉरर ना किसी भी तरह का देख लेता हूँ, दैट्स माय पर्सनल फेवरेट जॉनर। मैं लव स्टोरीज लिखता हूँ बट मुझे हॉरर बहुत पसंद है। अभी मैंने पोप एग्जॉर्सिस्ट देखा, पोप्स एग्जॉर्सिस्ट जो था, और
Yeah,
सब सारा, और मजा
Russell
नहीं
Crowe.
आया। रसल क्रो, हाँ, बट इट वाज अ वेरी काइंड ऑफ मोर ऑफ अ
ट्रेलर बहुत
स्टोरी।
अच्छा था,
हाँ,
थिएटर
ट्रेलर
को
बहुत
ट्रेलर
अच्छा था।
बहुत वाइब दे रहा था।
एविल डेड देखा मैंने जाके, एविल डेड फिर भी थोड़ा सा अपने नाम को जस्टिफाई करता है, और जैसा पहले के थे वैसे ही रखा उन
हाँ,
लोगों ने, खूब सारा गोरे ब्लैड ये वो सारा कुछ। बट या आई एक्चुअली गो थ्रू रिव्यूज ऑल्सो, जो क्रिटिक्स में हर शो का या जो भी शो आता है, जैसे भी मैंने सास बहू और फ्लैमिंगो देखना शुरू किया था, मैं बिंज वॉच नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ। सो रिव्यूज, कई लोगों ने मिक्स रिव्यूज दिए हैं, सब कुछ है, IMDb पे भी रेटिंग्स में देखता हूँ। मैंने पहले भी एक ऐप कोई डाउनलोड किया था, आई एम फॉरगेटिंग दैट नेम, इट वाज आउट ऑफ इंडिया कुछ बेस्ड ऐप था, उसमें भी क्यूरेट करते थे कि ये शो अच्छा है, ये ऐसा है, ये इस पे आप देख सकते हो, उस पे देख सकते हो, वो भी देखता हूँ। कई बार टॉप टेंस में भी मैं देखता हूँ, जैसे नेटफ्लिक्स पे आप जाओ, हॉटस्टार पे जाओ, जो टॉप टेंस है तो उसमें क्या क्या वो कर रहा है, और कई बार ट्विटर पे भी लोग लिख देते हैं कि यार ये अच्छा है वो अच्छा है। थोड़ा सा मैं अपने जॉनर्स की गट फीलिंग पे भी जाता हूँ, जैसे मुझे ना वॉर फिल्म्स बहुत अच्छी लगती है, आई रियली लव देम,
सेम।
खासतौर पे वर्ल्ड वॉर 1, वर्ल्ड वॉर 2, बैंड ऑफ ब्रदर्स हो, ये हो वो हो, स्पिलबर्ग की फिल्में हो, मैं ढूंढ ढूंढ के देखता हूँ, चाहे जिस लैंग्वेज में भी हो। somehow I have fascination for that kind of struggle, fight और survival basically। जो डार्विन की थ्योरी है ना, सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट, वो वॉर फिल्म में बिल्कुल सेट
बहुत
बैठती है
बढ़िया दिखाता
प्रैक्टिकली,
है।
बहुत बढ़िया दिखाते हैं। तो मैं वॉर फिल्म बहुत ढूंढ ढूंढ के देखता हूँ, और मैं एक्चुअली हमेशा चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज नाउ डेज यू हैव टू राइट, यू हैव टू वर्क, यू हैव टू हैव मीटिंग्स, तो ढूंढने का टाइम बहुत कम होता है, दैट्स वाई मुझे पता नहीं था वॉल के बारे में क्या है। तो व्हेन यू अप्रोच्ड मी और वॉल का बताया, वॉल मैंने डाउनलोड करके देखा, तो आई रियली फेल्ट वेरी हैप्पी कि चलो दे आर पीपल हु आर काइंड ऑफ watching everything and curating it
Yeah,
from different sources, and putting it in terms of top 10 or ye, and good part that I saw that some community, people are also like, even I want to put my best 10, I can put there, and people can, because हमारे ऐसे कई लोग होंगे ना जो हमारी फ्रिक्वेंसी में होंगे, किसी को हॉरर बहुत अच्छा लगता होगा, और मैंने 5 हॉरर डाल दिए तो वो देखना चाहेगा। तो
yes.
अभी क्या होता है ना, मैं भी सजेस्ट करता हूँ, जैसे किसी से मिलता हूँ, मीटिंग में बातचीत हुई कि यार हॉरर मुझे अच्छा लगता है, फिर बात
हाँ,
शुरू हो जाती है, फिर और मैं कहता हूँ ये देखो वो देखो। सो दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव ब्रॉट इनटू ऑल दोस कॉफी टेबल
everything.
डिस्कशंस, brought this into an app, which I
Yeah.
really felt very,
So,
which congratulations to you guys, mind blowing job on this.
thank you so much. And even the creation of the idea was on the same hand that when we asked more than 50 people that how do you invest time on anything, any subscriptions or anything, and specified to OTT, majority of time it dwells down upon social curation. आपको अपने फ्रेंड ने बोला, आपने आपके ऑफिस में जाके
Right,
किसी को
right,
बोला कि
right,
यार
right, बिल्कुल वही
आप ये
होता
देख वगैरह वगैरह, and then
है।
it
Right,
boils down to reviews, ratings, trending
ratings
part
वगैरह,
and everything. So
right,
वो एक पूरा है. So we'll be putting up many features in future as well, जो पूरा एक conversation part भी आ सकता है. But you can get your reviews first hand from here. You can create your own community on here वगैरह. But
and
yeah,
because a lot of these kind of thing, like film companies opinion. I mean, if you follow the Instagram, they always do, you
Yeah.
know, weekly हाँ streaming का अलग, फिल्मों का अलग. Then you have Chalchitra Talkies also. I mean, they
Yes.
invite a lot of people and everything. They are doing very good. I mean, I follow them. I see their content and everything, and they are more into, you know, films, books, and everything. A lot of discussion and everything. So they also have grown big now. So I also wish you guys, you know, to grow big,
Yes.
and this is something which is very good. You know, I think gradually, because of the fast lives and, you know, fast moving pacing life we have, we would like to have these kind of apps, you know, like Wall and everything, to, you know, see the curated things, and, you know,
Yeah.
it will actually guide us to choose better, not to waste our time. बिकॉज कई बार क्या
Yeah.
होता है ना, किसी ने कुछ भी किया और आपने देखा, और एक एपिसोड के बाद फिर आपको लगता है यार ये क्या देख रहे हो, मतलब ठीक है. एंड वाइडर फॉर्मेट में, लॉन्गर फॉर्मेट में, दिस इज अ वेरी, पहला एक एपिसोड आप नहीं देख पाए तो फिर आप देखते ही नहीं,
Yes.
ड्रॉप कर गए तो ड्रॉप ही कर गए, वो फिर पता नहीं कब होता है. सो इट इज लाइक दैट.
Yeah.
मुझे लगता है इट्स अ गुड.
ये आपने बताया आपके टॉप 10 के बारे में, टॉप 5 हॉरर मूवीज के बारे में. लेट्स आई जस्ट वांट टू गो थ्रू लाइक योर टॉप 10 रिकमेंडेशंस ओवरऑल, मूवीज हो, सीरीज हो, कुछ भी हो. विल बी मेकिंग अ कलेक्शन ऑन वॉल, विल बी फीचरिंग इट
Yeah,
ऑन
so
स्काई.
I'll tell you my movies, and I have written it also,
ग्रेट.
so that I don't forget. So it's a mix of, you know, Hindi, English
एनीथिंग.
genres, everything, and it's not in that order. ये top 10 है, मतलब कहीं से उठा लो तो ये मेरे लिए
हाँ.
top ही है. So they are
हाँ.
like they are parallel, you know, adjacent to each other, not like this vertical. So one is a series, many of you must have watched, Mindhunters.
यस.
I really love that series, and
इंटरेस्टिंग.
I would really want to make something like that in India someday, when I have that kind of expertise and that kind of script. You know, I'm really very intrigued by these kind of psychological thrillers and everything.
यस.
Then there is a very you know, beautiful movie, Shall We Dance? So we always say na, Hollywood गाना बजाना नहीं करता है, but you see Salvi Dance or Chicago and those kind of films, and then you know how do they use music and dance to their film telling. So then I really love this film called Swadesh. I think that's one of the best where Shahrukh sir has performed. Until now, it is etched in our heart.
या.
Then I really like this series called Patal Lok.
यस.
It has everything. It has everything, and the kind of characters they have created, it's very good. It's a must watch, I think, for all the learning writers and every writer who is already working also. Then there is a fantasy film Indian which is called Mr. India's Sci-Fi. I really loved that film since my childhood. मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता था, और आज तक मुझे याद है, वो लाल ऐसे टुकड़ों से वो देखता था, तो उसको दिखता था
हाँ.
लाल ग्लास से, रेड ग्लासेस से, और ऐसे नहीं दिखता था तो लास्ट में वो रेड बल्ब जला देते, और वो जब
हाँ.
क्रॉस हो रहा है, the moment he passes through the red light, he is seen and then he is invisible, you know.
या.
तो वो हमारे लिए बड़ा नया था उस समय.
या.
Then हॉरर में एग्जॉर्सिज्म ऑफ एमिली रोज,
यस.
काफी लोगों ने देखा होगा. ओमेन सीरीज कंप्लीटली, ओमेन 1 2 3 4 5 जहां तक है. ओमेन की खासियत ये है ना कि उसमें वो गोरे ये वो ना होते हुए ना सिचुएशनल हॉरर है. एक थॉट है रिलीजन से जुड़ा हुआ, डेविल का और ये वो, एंड इट्स वेरी टेरिफाइंग. देन आई रियली लाइक दिस आल्सो. मुझे थोड़ा स्टार और गैलेक्सी भी बहुत पसंद है, सो विच इज मैंडलोरियन. कॉमेडी में हेरा फेरी एंड ऑफिस, द ऑफिस जो है. सो ये 10 हैं मेरे. दस
I'll
हो
say
गए.
I'll rate 7 out of 10. मैंने ओमेन सीरीज नहीं देखा है, और the dance musical one you said I haven't seen, so I'll I'll follow
So
on
they
that.
are all from different genres, you know, fantasy,
Yeah,
मैंडलोरियन मैं
yeah,
हमेशा देखता हूँ.
yeah.
खत्म, मतलब वो आपके अंदर ना ऑडियंस हर तरह का होना चाहिए. आपके अंदर वो बचपना भी होना चाहिए, आपके अंदर वो सीरियसनेस भी होनी चाहिए, और एंड फॉर एवरी राइटर आल्सो, सी आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट एज अ पर्सन यू वुड लाइक टू राइट अ सर्टेन, you are very comfortable writing a particular kind of genre or particular kind of story, but overall a writer should not, he should challenge himself, you know. अपने आप को आपको चैलेंज करना चाहिए कि मैं कॉमेडी भी अच्छी लिखूंगा, मैं हॉरर भी अच्छी लिखूंगा, मैं ये भी लिखूंगा. जो करो ना अच्छे से करो, उसको दमदार करो. तो मुझे ना एक्चुअली मैं बचपन से फिल्मों पे ही पला बड़ा हुआ हूं, तो मुझे सारी फिल्में अच्छी लगती है. मतलब बिलीव नहीं करोगे, टाइम पे मैं थिएटर में जाता था, जो फिल्में नहीं चलती थी ना, तो मैं जाता था ये देखने के लिए, मुझे थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस मिलता था कि मैं अच्छा लिखता हूँ इनसे.
हाँ.
और जो फिल्में बहुत चलती थी और बहुत अच्छी होती थी, वो मैं देख के जाके मैं इंस्पायर होता था कि यार यहाँ तक पहुंचूंगा ना, तब कोई बात बनेगी.
मेरा बहुत सिमिलर ओपिनियन है, दैट मुझे कोई भी मूवी एकदम पहली ही नजर में ऐसा नहीं बोल सकता कि ये क्या मूवी बनाई है, देखूंगा ही नहीं। माय
हाँ
माय माय फर्स्ट रिएक्शन इज, इतना तो क्या ही कर दिया होगा कि पीपल आर लैशिंग आउट ऑन डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म्स और
exactly.
इवन ऑन लाइक व्हेन वी
हाँ
मीट समवन, सो बिकॉज माय हेड, एज आई सेड अर्लियर, मेरा जाता है सोचते कैसे होंगे ये लोग,
हाँ
एंड देन इट बॉयज
हाँ
लाइक द
exactly.
थॉट्स ट्रेन
देखो देखो
स्टार्ट।
एक चीज है, एक मुझे कभी किसी ने कहा था कि पेपर पे जब भी कोई मूवी या शो बन रहा होता है ना, उस समय तो सक्सेसफुली होता है ना, तभी तो पीपल आर पुटिंग मनी बिहाइंड इट एंड एवरीथिंग एंड
या
योर गैदरिंग टीम एंड मेकिंग, while making sometime it gets lost, कहते हैं ना लॉस्ट इन द ट्रांजिशन, उसमें चला जाता है कई बार। कई बार कुछ डिसीजंस जो गलत पड़ जाते हैं, और कई बार वही होता है कि हमें जो अच्छा लग रहा है शायद वो वाइडली एक्सेप्टेड ना हो, तो ये भी चीज होती है। तो मैं
मैं
हमेशा बिल्कुल कि आपको देखो यार, हम लोग बना तो ऑडियंस के लिए रह रहे हैं ना, अपने लिए बना नहीं रहे। तो यू हैव टू बी, क्या कहूँ आपको, यू हैव टू बी अंडरस्टैंडिंग, यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि किस तरह की कहानी क्या पसंद की जाएगी। तो वो आपके आसपास लोगों को पसंद नहीं आ रही, फिर भी आप बनाने जा रहे हो, इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं गड़बड़ होगी आगे जाके, है ना?
yes. My father, whenever my like elders ask, like when any societal meetup happens, he asks कि क्या, क्योंकि he is a big, like from him only I got the entire cinema का thing,
ओहो
and he
अच्छा।
always says
हाँ
one thing, that why he watched movies from his leaving, like on Fridays or leaving college, everything, that if in those 3 hours मुझे नई दुनिया में ले जाओगे तो I am happy with it। अगर तुम
हम्म,
मुझे सिखाने आओगे कि ऐसा नहीं कर सकते तो मुझे नहीं, like his entire decision making of movie is good or bad is, are you giving me a good visual escapism? That's it.
राइट
Like
राइट,
that's why he
ट्रू
tends more
ट्रू।
towards Partner or David the One film, because he's like perfect. Keep your mind
हाँ हाँ
outside, go into the
बिल्कुल
film. Tak
बिल्कुल
tak
बिल्कुल
tak.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
Yeah.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। सो
Hmm.
सो आई ऑल्सो want to make those kind of films. I have stories because I have been born and brought up on those kind of films, and
Yeah.
I would really love to make those kind of films. Right now also the kind of movies, the scripts I have, जो मैंने पहले finish की, so what was something which was way outside my comfort zone which I wrote, but I challenged myself, क्या मैं ऐसी फिल्म भी लिख सकता हूँ, और मैंने लिखी। बट जो पॉपुलर सिनेमा कहते हैं ना, पॉपुलर पॉट बॉयलर सिनेमा, वो मुझे बहुत अपील करता है। मुझे बड़ा मजा आता है कि 3 घंटे जाओ, खूब खुश हो, गाओ बजाओ, वापस
हाँ.
निकलो, फिर अपने काम में, फिर
Yeah.
अपने दूसरे काम में बढ़ो।
Yeah.
तो मैं भी इस तरह का सिनेमा बनाना चाहता हूँ और बनाऊँ, मतलब
हाँ.
बट हाँ,
Yes.
आज की डेट में ऑडियंस स्मार्ट है। अब वो बिल्कुल बेसिर पैर की कहानी नहीं होती। यू शुड हैव स्टोरी, यू शुड हैव सम
Yes.
कनेक्शन टू द कैरेक्टर, यू शुड हैव अ गुड जर्नी ऑफ द कैरेक्टर्स एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड कीपिंग ऑल दोज थिंग्स इन माइंड, यू हैव टू कीप द ऑडियंस एंगेज, चाहे वो
Yes.
म्यूजिक से हो, डांस से हो, और वो पूरे कैरेक्टर्स की जर्नी से हो। दे शुड हैव अ स्टोरी, एक अच्छी स्टोरी हो, और उसके उसका ट्रीटमेंट आप वैसा, तो वो होगा।
Yes. Wishing you best of luck for those stories. Now we are into last segment. I'll just ask our app to join in. I'll
ओके।
just allow him to screen share. We'll ask you a few questions. आपने शायद ऐप देखा ही होगा, तो आपको आइडिया आएगा.
हाँ मैंने आप देखा है, और बाकी यहाँ देख के आंसर कर दूंगा।
So basically, we have a filter uh, point, like filter feature on app that helps you recommend movies that you really would like to watch, as compared to any
Yeah,
other movies that you scroll down, like invest your time in scrolling into. Aditya, can you just
right.
start the filter part? Yes. Select anything, movie, TV show, all service.
All
Language
services.
preference, any
Okay, so English and Hindi.
genre,
Uh, right now I would go for action and adventure. बहुत दिन से देखी नहीं मैंने अच्छी एक्शन एडवेंचर फिल्म।
do you like that? If
और
IMDb
फास्ट एंड
score,
फ्यूरियस F7 ना, I'm waiting for that film now.
yes,
अभी
they are one more universe to
I
follow.
really love, yeah, that's one universe, because I really love driving, I really love driving,
Yeah.
and since childhood वो मतलब मैं
They
बहुत
are unabashedly unapologetic towards their art, like space पहुंचा दिया है, and they are convincing enough.
हाँ
Like उनका conviction ratio बहुत high है towards the filmmaking.
हाँ।
Any IMDb score preference?
I think anything which is 7 and above is a good film, I would say, है ना, 7 to
Okay.
10 में काफी अच्छा। movie.
Cool. Apply.
Release year could be anything, yeah, for me.
Yeah.
मुझे तो
This was
पुरानी
the
फिल्म
option.
भी
Hmm.
ओहो की आ गया, मैंने देखी हुई है। स्वीट टूथ आई एम वाचिंग द नेक्स्ट राइट नाउ। Wrath of a Man is a good film. Walking Dead
Yes.
यार is one of my favorite. I'll tell you because Walking Dead is favorite because it's a story of survival, not
Hmm.
वो zombies और ये। टेनेट
Yeah.
में मैं ना बहुत थका हुआ था, तो मैं थिएटर में देखने गया तो मैं सो गया था, सॉरी टेनेट।
Oh.
फिर नेक्स्ट डे देखा मैंने जाके, उस दिन बहुत
हाँ
थका हुआ था यार।
मैंने
सो
भी 2 बार
एवेंजर्स,
देखी है।
जस्टिस
एवेंजर्स
लीग, फ्री गाय इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग फिल्म यार। फ्री गाय मैंने देखी थी फिल्म।
concept was quite intriguing in my head.
क्वाइट इंट्रिगिंग, यू नो दोज,
Yeah.
मतलब आप एक थर्ड पार्टी, वही जो पीछे खड़े होते हो गेम्स में एंड ऑल दैट,
हाँ
एंड
हाँ
हाउ
वही.
यू पार्ट ऑफ द गेम ये। ओके सो
So once you go to the
फ्री,
movie, just go back. Free guy.
अच्छा एक
Yeah.
चीज था कल ना, आई वाज ट्राइंग टू वॉच समथिंग एंड इट वाज सजेस्टिंग ऑन हॉटस्टार एंड इट
Okay.
वाज द एचबीओ मूवी आई थिंक, और एचबीओ भी हॉटस्टार से निकल गया है।
So
तो
Geo, like it will
हाँ सो
in 2 months of time Geo Cinema पे आएगा, तब अब we'll be linking it up again.
हाँ आई नो इन 2 months of time that will come on that.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
basically, once you click on the movie, you can like it, add to your collection. The like part also features, like, generates to the main feed. Like the movie that gets more like of it are featured in the trending
yeah,
section or the like section. Add it to your
nicely
collection,
shot.
share it with your friends, and then you can get all the information of
Right.
the
And
movie.
you can directly watch from here. You can just
Yeah, you can just click
push
and it will take you
that
to the
button
app.
and it will take you to the other app, right? I mean, the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
in future, like in recent time, in the next few months, you'll be able to also buy these subscriptions on Wall. For example, if you don't have Hotstar as of now, it will make it accessible to you on all the other
Okay.
platforms that are feasible.
Wow. Wow. That is nice. Yeah. That's the kind of integration you guys are planning. And,
Yes.
wow. So
Yes.
Vikings is also very good. यार ये मेरी सारी favorite आ गई इसमें। सोचो
Huh.
Dune,
That's the main feature, like that was the main object of the feature, that if you like action
The
and
Lost
adventure, then there is no point. Like we want to save your time in terms of the best action
Time.
movies that are created with this thing. So you don't move on, like, dwell your time into certain movies that you might feel okay, अच्छी है, बुरी है, but people have
Yeah.
already given the review, or if it matters to you. Yeah.
But sometimes now this also helps you when you have watched a certain kind of film and then matching your choice, a lot of films pop up, their posters
Yeah.
and their links, and
Yeah.
then you realize कि अच्छा इस genre में ये भी film है, let's, and then it becomes
Huh.
easier for you to, so this is something
Yeah.
which is good
This actually
for
the
Lord of the
most.
Rings.
Yeah. Top Gun Maverick, one of the favorites from last year.
Yeah, सारे ही हैं,
Okay.
सभी हैं, which
Cool,
is good, yeah.
Aditya. Just make me host again. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your time. This was a wonderful conversation. I did dwell myself more into the nitty-gritties of characters and story. I myself is a person of those discussions, but for the part of the conversation, I didn't go there. But I would like to have you, like, even if not for a podcast, just to meet you and discuss the character graphs, character making, storyboarding, storytelling, because that is an area of thing for me. So yeah, it was a very insightful conversation. We congratulations on your success again for Vadh and Jehanabad. Looking forward to more such films from your end.
Thank you so much, you. Thank you so much, and thank you so much to everyone who is working behind the wall.
Yeah.
I would all of you are doing an incredible job, and this was such a nice heart-to-heart talking with you, and these kind of talks again make you relive those memories which you go through, in past years while making Vad or while making Jahanabad. So thank you so much, and I wish all of you my best, for this app and for all the future endeavors you guys are going to come up with.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you. As you are here for the first time, let me introduce you to Wall. Wall is a platform that will change how you interact with entertainment. It helps you in content discovery and assists you in finding where to watch your favorite content from the cinema. It is social network for cinema enthusiasts, helping you build your cinema community and your personal cinema diary. Recommend movies, make collections, and follow your favorite individuals to get new suggestions. Wall attracts thousands of film critic, reviewers, and consumers, and it provides a smarter way to consume your content. Download Wall now with this link. The link is also shared in the description, and let us know your experience. I hope you enjoyed this interview as we start now.